Hey babes, I'm Miss Mila and welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today we're going to be talking about how your audience is defined by your content. Now, a lot of the times when you're new and you're starting out, you probably are going to want to try various things and see what sticks. And this is completely fine for beginners who don't know what they want to film. A lot of people come into the adult industry and they just film whatever they think is going to sell. And then they throw it out there and see what happens. And this is completely fine. However, what most models don't know, and I didn't completely understand this either until very recently when I started transitioning into cosplay videos. I mean, I kind of knew already to some extent, but not to the extent. So basically, these models who are new and they start out and they're filming whatever sells, whatever sticks, they might start getting some custom video orders from customers who want them to film some particular things for them. And then their brand starts being shaped by whatever they're producing and whatever these customers are asking them to film and having them produce. And that is basically the layout of their video stores. Now, what happens from here with these newer models who are producing content in this method, which there's nothing wrong with experimentation again, but when you stick with this model and you continually work with this model, that's when it can go wrong for you because you might not actually be enjoying the content that you're filming. You might be filming whatever content is just selling, but not want anything to do with the content that you're filming and hate filming whatever content you're filming. When I started out filming content, I definitely did a lot of that. I filmed a lot of custom videos, tons of fetishes. Over on Extra Lunch Money, that's all I got was like fetish style content, fetish style custom videos, and I got introduced to a whole new world full of various fetishes, various kinks. Some of them I loved. Some of them were really weird, but I didn't hate. Some of them were the worst, and I still film them. Like, for example, splashing videos. You have like a bucket or, you know, like a pot filled with ketchup and mustard and whatever, and you're in a bikini in your tub and you pour everything on yourself. Disgusting. I hated every second of it. I'll never do it again unless they charge like really high. But my point is that when you're filming all kinds of this content that other people want you to produce, you're usually going to be filming what other people want you to do and not necessarily what you want. However, when you are constantly uploading this kind of content, usually custom videos do end up as resale videos, you start gaining audience for that kind of content. And when you gain audience for a specific kind of content, you might have more people who are asking you for custom video orders for those particular content types. So now your audience is growing and growing and growing and is establishing based on the content that you're already producing and have on in your store. And this is completely dependent on what you're creating, be it custom videos or not. And again, this can lead to a model continuously producing content that the model doesn't actually enjoy producing. The model might actually hate the content that this model is producing on his or her store. But did you know that your audience is defined by your content? Because if you remember that, and remember that when you produce a lot of something, whatever category that might fall under, and you upload a lot of this one category type onto your video store, you are going to gain audience from places that want that type of content. And this is true for any content type, any category. There's so many categories, right? So many categories, and a lot of them are probably words I shouldn't say on YouTube, but you understand there are so many categories and tags that can define your video, but it is the specific tags and keywords and categories that people use to search up what they want in terms of viewing video content from adult entertainers. The more you have of a particular video of a category or a tag, the more you will gain audience that wants that content. You are gaining a demand on your platform for that particular content. The more you produce it, the more you upload it, the more you market that you have it. You are creating your audience. You are shaping your audience with the content you're producing. So with that being said, I have to ask you this, and you have to ask yourself this. What do you enjoy filming? What do you like filming? What do you not like filming? If you're brand new, you might not know the answer to this. If you've done that experimentation and you're in this sluggish place where you're like, I've tried a lot, I know what sells, but I'm just not feeling it, then ask yourself, what do you enjoy filming? Maybe there are some things that you have filmed that are particular categories that you do enjoy, but maybe there's something else, a category that you've never touched on or hardly touched on that you love filming so much. For me, that was cosplay. I always wanted to do cosplay, and yes, I touched up on it a little bit. I actually got kind of lucky because there's this one guy in Extra Lunch Money who really wanted this fantasy of his recreated with Aerith Gainsborough from Final Fantasy VII, and in this scene where the fireworks were going and they were like on a Ferris wheel, she was on a Ferris wheel with Cloud, and he wanted me to kind of like recreate that scene with her. And no one had this costume, so he was okay with buying it for someone, and that ended up being me. And I was stoked because Final Fantasy VII is my favorite Final Fantasy game. Also Final Fantasy VIII, love that one too. But that was actually my first taste of doing cosplay, which again, I was always a video game nerd, I was always an anime nerd. Cosplay is something I always wanted to do in my life. Honestly, I did have a lot of, blockages. Like, I always thought I was too fat to do cosplay. I always thought I wasn't pretty enough to do cosplay. I had these thoughts that were blocking me from doing it or whatever. Like, I didn't want to be seen in public because I was too shy, and I didn't want to be so crazy looking out in the street and going to a convention in a cosplay. So I had a lot of blockages, and because of that I didn't go for it. But that was like a taste into doing some cosplay, and even though I did go the fetish route of lots of pregnant Aerith videos, I did really enjoy the fact that I was able to do some cosplay, and I just decided, you know what? I want to start doing cosplay. I'm going to start investing some money and I'm going to start doing cosplay. And that's something that I really wanted to do. And now I love doing it. And so basically the whole point of this whole video is you can film whatever it is that you enjoy, and you can sell, because basically once you start producing a lot of it over a long enough period of time where you have enough content, you're gonna start gaining an audience. Slowly it's gonna be developing, and you're gonna gain an audience for that particular content, and they're gonna go to your store to find that content. If you're not enjoying the content that you're doing right now, you can change things up and you can film the content that you like filming. Or if you still don't know what that is, go through the categories. There's so many categories, and experiment some more with categories that you haven't tried, and see maybe there are some categories that you haven't touched on yet that you actually enjoy, and you can do a lot of that, and customers, you'll start gaining an audience for that particular content, and you'll start making sales for that particular content, and requests, custom video requests, all kinds of requests for that particular content. So basically, if you film enough of any kind of content, you will establish an audience for this. For example, when I started doing mouth fetish, giantess mouth fetish videos of like, ooh, I'm a hungry giantess and I'm gonna eat you, and there's these guys who really like watching like a close-up of a girl's mouth basically, and her being like a giantess and them being like a little man in like this swallow fantasy. This is a real thing. So I started doing some custom videos for like one particular individual on Extra Lunch Money, where I get most of my fetishes. And from there I started uploading these videos to my clip stores for resale, and I started gaining custom video orders from all sorts of customers who wanted more of this particular category. And that's basically my point, is when you do a lot of anything, you're going to create an audience who wants it. You're going to create a demand, and you're going to gain an audience who wants that content from you, wants to watch it, wants to buy it, wants to ask for customs, wants to ask for live shows. So you don't have to be stuck in this sluggish place of filming content that you hate or you dislike or it's not enjoyable for you. You can film whatever you want, and you will gain audience for that content. If you haven't seen the interview that I did with Siren Verde, it's a great one. I basically asked her a bunch of questions, and one of them was, advice that you would give to like a new model or something, or anyone. And one thing that she said was, figure out what you like filming and film a lot of it. And that was like a snippet of information that she got from another model. And it's so true, because again, your audience is defined by you and the content you produce. And if you produce content you enjoy and you get paid for it, would that not make you happy? Would that not make you happier than producing whatever content just sells, even if you hate filming that particular content? And the question might come up, my audience is already established, they want to see this particular content from me. It's not too late. You can make the switch at any time. Growth is an important part of human life. Even if that means significant changes to your job and your lifestyle, whatever it may be. If you're changing the type of content you're producing massively, that's okay. And guess what? It will naturally change and shift and transform to whatever customers still are there for you because they love you and seeing you, and whatever customers that are brand new that want to see you for that new content you are offering now. Always do what makes you happy. And I think the whole universe right now is feeling a lot of that. I've been on Reddit so much about like how, gosh, like I could go on and on and on about shit like this in the world, but like how the minimum wage is stupid low right now, and all these people who've been hit by the pandemic lost their second job or whatever, and now they're starting to figure out how to live with less money and being with their kids versus paying for daycare, and having a second job is a lot nicer than having that second job that pays like shit and they don't enjoy anyway. So many people in this world right now are making that shift, are shifting to things that they enjoy more, even if that means a different amount of pay, at least at the beginning. Transformation is important. You don't want stagnation. Stagnation is not good. Transformation and growth is very good for you. It's very good for everyone. I will be making another video, and it's going to be all about transitioning your audience to an alternative video category that you might be choosing, and how to do that, and how to do that more smoothly, and how to keep the income more consistent. And I think it's going to be really important for those of you who want to make the switch and want some extra tips and advice to make that happen, because I've been doing it for 3 months now, and I can definitely give you information that has worked for me and my own advice. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope it was beneficial for you, helpful, informative. Definitely give me a big thumbs up if you did find it helpful. And if you are interested in more content like this that are guides or get ready with me, definitely subscribe and turn that notification button on down below, and I'll see you guys next time with another video. And next time will definitely be this transitional style video that'll help you transition into your different content type more smoothly. See you!